Greetings everyone. You join me today in northwest Wiltshire. I'm going to do a walk from the village of Biddestone up through Giddy Hall, past Castle Combe motor racing circuit, and then down through Castle Combe village onto Ford, Slaughterford, and back through to Biddestone. It's going to be about 8.5 miles, 9 miles, something like that. Currently it's a bit overcast. There's a weather front that's sort of dying out that's coming over us, but I'm hoping it might brighten up once this weather front's passed, because Castle Combe is allegedly the prettiest village in England, so it would be nice to see it in sunshine. We often think of the Cotswolds as lying in Gloucestershire and Oxfordshire, but actually the southern tip of the Cotswolds is in northwest Wiltshire, and so we're going to get to see some of this lovely golden limestone, yeah, well, hopefully Castle Combe lives up to expectations, because it is supposed to be absolutely chocolate box gorgeous. We've got a nice climb up West Yatton down now. First real climb of the day. Yeah, just enough to get your heart rate going. Oh, that's me reached the summit of that hill. A bit out of breath and sweating as per usual, and you may or may not be able to hear some of the cars going around Castle Combe circuit. At the moment I can't see anything, it's all hidden behind hedges and trees, but I think there might be a crash gate further up ahead. We'll not get a view of the circuit, so fingers crossed. See some of these things flying around. Fortunately, this is as close as we can get, so you can't really see a huge amount. But there it is, sort of over there. Castle Combe, like most of these race tracks, is an old World War II RAF airfield. But it's quite a popular racetrack. I think today's one of these what they call track days, where you can just bring along your car and have a bit of a play. Doesn't seem to be any fixed race as such. We're all slowing down, so whether that's the end of the session or there's been an incident. Now just coming to Upper Castle Combe. There is a way down that way to get to Castle Combe, but I've got a feeling it's going to be quite muddy, so I think I'm going to wimp out and use the road, because I don't want to turn up in Castle Combe looking like a tramp. Yeah, show you this house. It's quaint. Yeah, we'll wander around and then drop down into Castle Combe, but this is pretty as well, Upper Castle Combe. Lovely colours on, I think it's a magnolia, but somebody might tell me otherwise. Spring is definitely starting to spring. Here it is, Castle Combe. So that was Castle Combe. It's very pretty. Whether it's England's prettiest village, I have my doubts, to be honest with you, but it's still very quaint. This is the bit that I was planning on going off and walking along the valley side. However, as you can see, the river is very high. We've had so much rain over the last few months that everywhere is a quagmire, and so I can walk down the other side of the valley on the road, and so just to save me getting into complete muddy mess is what I'm going to do, because normally I hate road walking, but on this occasion I think it would be a sensible option to take. As I say, a bit of mud, you don't mind, but if you don't have to get muddy, what's the point? I've changed my mind. Decided to risk the mud and take to a path because I got bored of walking on tarmac. And that road, it's not busy, but a lot of tourist traffic on it, and don't always drive at the most sensible of speeds. It's quite narrow, so it's safer going this way, hopefully, unless I fall over on my arse on the mud. There's masses of I think it's wild garlic. It doesn't actually smell that pungent here, but yeah, masses of it. Bridge to cross over there, at least I hope it's intact. I might cheat, because it looks a bit boggy by that. Just about squeeze through here. Oh, another short, sharp ascent after the pub. Yes, nice sort of a bit of liquid replenishment on a road, but it's a very minor, narrow single track road full of mud, so I can't imagine it's going to be much traffic on it. Yeah, we're now heading towards Slaughterford, which is it's a hamlet, a few houses. I don't think it's much of a village, but I don't know how pretty it is. Yeah, I mean, the pub had a big beer garden, which would have been nice to sat and eat some sandwiches, but unfortunately there was some gardeners working in it, and A, they were making a bit of noise, and B, I don't suppose it would have gone down well if I'd been eating my own food on their premises. So we'll see if we can find something suitable to sit on and eat my sandwiches. Because what is it now? Well, it's only 20 to 1, so it's not that much rush, but I am starting to get a little bit peckish. The infills in this wall, little things like that just make the countryside so pretty. Somebody's gone to the effort to put them in. Amazing, isn't it? Here's a load more of that wild garlic. Yeah, you can definitely smell the garlic. I mean, where I work, they've got wild garlic in the woods as well, and it's probably a little bit more advanced than that, and that really does smell. Anyway, just reverse the camera, hang on a second. There we go, the sign says 1.25 miles to Biddestone. Don't know if you can see, but right through the middle of this nice pretty valley, some electricity pylons. You'd like to think that they were perhaps put up in the 60s when nobody seemed to give a toss. Today, in more enlightened times, they'd never get planning permission because, quite frankly, it's a complete and utter eyesore. I know you need to get electric across the country, but there's better ways of doing it, or certainly diverting around areas of natural beauty anyway. There's been a few steep climbs on this walk. Hello, where are we? Yeah, short, sharp climbs out of valleys. Certainly enough to get you out of breath. And if you're like me, sweating like a pig. Still, it's all good for you. Yeah, hopefully in the summer I shall do one of the national trails. I'm not going to say which one yet. I'm pretty certain I know which one I'm going to do, but I'm not going to declare it just yet, just in case I change my mind. But obviously, before I do, I'm still going to have to get a bit fitter and used to carrying a heavy pack again. So a few more hills like that, it's not going to do any harm. So coming into Biddestone now, near the end of the walk. Going to show how much rain we've had. That's a footpath that's draining off, if you can see. Yeah, that's just a footpath. There's not supposed to be a river. Yeah. You see the village pump under there, back in the days when fresh water wasn't easily available. So here we are, just coming up to the end of the walk. Let me just check. Oh, where are we? How long was it? Yeah, 8.5 miles. Better not get run over. Hang on, where are we going? I'm here. Hello. Yes, I have to say that's been a brilliant walk because you've had a bit of everything. You've had, I mean, gorgeous villages. I have to say, Biddestone itself, I think, is equally as pretty as Castle Combe. You've had some steep hills to go up and down. It's mainly been road walking, which I've chosen to do specifically because it's so wet everywhere and muddy. Yeah, normally I'd steer clear of walking on tarmac, but just because it is so muddy and wet everywhere, I just decided to stick to mainly road walking. But having said that, the vast majority of the roads I was on were very, very quiet, hardly saw a car at all, so not an issue whatsoever with traffic. Yeah, so hopefully you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you all again next time. Bye.